So strip grazing divides a field into strips using a movable electric fence. Okay, so that is a key difference there now between our paddock grazing and our strip grazing. Our paddock grazing had more permanent fencing involved, which is more expensive. Our strip grazing is only dividing our field using a movable electric fence. Each strip is going to be big enough to provide grazing to the herd for 24 hours or for 1 day. Okay, so that is a similarity there with our strip grazing, our paddock grazing. It's for 1 day or for 24 hours that a paddock or a strip has to do your herd. Again, this is going to depend on the size of your herd, what size your field you're going to have, but you want to be able to do out your calculations that the number of livestock you have in your field is going to be able to graze this strip or paddock down in a day. A back fence prevents the movement of our livestock into previously grazed strips. Okay, so that is important to allow our grass to regrow and recover. Okay. So, for example, here that these two, can I zoom in? Oh, geez, I can't. So, for example, here that these two cows here aren't able to go back and graze this paddock further, where they might pick up diseases with the grass being grazed maybe a bit tight. They're not going to be go back and poaching a previously grazed strip, which is going to damage your soil structure, which can maybe lead to further poaching, which could further down the line cause weed infestation, them sort of things. So you have a movable electric fence, but you also have a back fence. Okay, so very important that you have a back fence when you're using strip grazing. Livestock are moved around strips in a rotational manner until they return to the first strip 3 weeks later. Okay, so another similarity there with our paddock grazing is that you're going to return to the first strip 3 weeks or 21 days later. Again, the growth cycle of your grass is going to be 21 days. So you're hoping here, in regards to this diagram, that we have... in regards to this diagram here, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips, you be hoping there you have 5 strips of grass. You want to return to paddock 1 or paddock 5, even in this case, after 21 days. So you'd be hoping that each strip would do your livestock approximately 4.2 days per paddock. That's when they should have it fully grazed, okay? And to allow your grass to fully regrow, fully recover. Farmers use a fixed or movable water supply depending on the layout of your fields, okay? So you can have something like diagram A here or B here, where you constantly give the cattle access to a water trough, or you can just have a movable water trough up and down the field. Again, you could just install your water troughs. So install your water troughs. So you could have a water trough here that would do paddock 1 and 2. Water trough down here that would do paddock 3 and 4. And then lastly, one down the bottom that would do 5. Okay, but all depending on the farmer's situation, depending on how much money they are willing to invest into this grazing system. So your advantages of your strip grazing, similar to our paddock grazing, that we have fresh leafy grass available each day. We have no waste of grass, and grass isn't damaged while it's regrowing. Okay, why is it not damaged? It's because here we have a back fence. A back fence which prevents our cattle going back into a previously grazed strip where the cattle could cause poaching and destroy our soil structure. Disadvantages of our strip grazing. Again, it's going to be very similar. It's going to have a high labour cost, where a farmer is going to be moving livestock every day, depending on the number of strips that he has in his field. He's going to have to move his livestock. There's going to have to be movement of fences, movement of water supplies each day. And again, our disadvantages are also that it could be expensive to set up. So this is just an example here of a bit of strip grazing that we were doing at home ourselves. So hopefully you can clearly see here that these paddocks here on our left are nicely grazed. Grazed not too tight, because you don't want your cattle maybe grazing the grass too low and that they could come in contact with, are more prone to coming in contact with diseases such as stomach worms, liver fluke that be growing on the bottom of your grass. And over here to our right, hopefully we can see that there's fresh leafy grass there. And again, all this is to try and increase our live weight gain of our cattle, to increase their productivity, to increase the digestibility and productivity of the grass, and ultimately our herd.